Say it ain't so. Oh, what a absolute kick to the gut. The Niners lose Nick Bosa for the year. We're going to talk about it right here. Off and rolling on the Krug Show. The impromptu live video here. I just came across seconds ago. Adam Schefter reporting. Nick Bosa's done for the year. Done for the year. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Done for the year. What a terrible, terrible break for the 49ers. It's just, what can you say? I mean, what can you say? Just absolutely a crusher. Nick Bosa is future Hall of Famer, having an incredible year. And just like that, boom, gone, done for the year. Wow. What a bad break for the 49ers. What a bad break. Oh, man. Adam Schefter. Well, I guess we might as well put this up on the screen. You guys can see it. There it is. Schefter. God dang it. Test today showed that 49er Pro Bowl defensive end Nick Bosa suffered a season-ending torn ACL during Sunday's win over Arizona. Sources tell ESPN it's a clean tear, but Bosa now will need surgery, season-ending surgery. Just a crusher. Absolute crusher. And, what do you do if you're the 49ers? It's amazing. The Niners have already played this year without George Kittle, without Brock Purdy, without Juwan Jennings, without Brandon Ayuk. And now they're going to have to play the rest of the year without Nick Bosa. And it's just an absolute kick to the gut. Just absolutely takes the 49ers from one level and drops them to another level. They're not nearly as good without Nick Bosa. This just in, So I looked at the list of free agents. It's nothing. It's awful. It's an awful list. We could throw out some of the names, but it's just unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. 49ers have just the worst luck when it comes to injuries. Just the worst. Just absolutely the worst. Gut-wrenching for the 49ers. Unbelievable. And if you look at the available edge defenders, it's nobody. It's the kind of list that would make you go, oh, really? That's all that's available? DeMarcus Walker, John Kaminsky, Jerry Hughes, Camus Grugier-Hill, Shaq Barrett, who's now, 33 or whatever, Carl Lawson, Janarius Robinson, Alex Barrett. What? No, none of those guys are going to work. So, they're in a really rough spot. You could start looking around at other teams' practice squads. I'm sure they will. And just look, the Niners internally have Trevis Gibson and Robert Beal on their practice squad. I would imagine Gibson will get the promotion right away. And, that's not awful. I mean, Trevis Gibson is not, that's not, those are decent in-house candidates. And then I'd have to go look through the rest of the teams and go, team by team and look at their practice squads. One team that I would absolutely call today is the Dolphins. The Dolphins have Jalen Phillips, the former Miami Hurricane, who was their first-round pick in 2021. I don't believe they exercised his fifth-year option, so he's a free agent at the end of the year. and the Dolphins aren't going anywhere. Maybe you could trade a 4th-round pick for Jalen Phillips. Something like that might might be an option. Just what an absolute kick to the gut for the 49ers. And you say, well, who's going nowhere? Well, the Jets are going nowhere. The Dolphins are going nowhere. Who else? Houston looks like they're going nowhere. Tennessee might not be going anywhere. Those teams are all 0-3. New York Giants, Kayvon Thibodeau. You want to trade for Kayvon Thibodeau? That might be an interesting one. They're 0-3. I'd call the Saints and ask about Carl Granderson. There's no question about it. The Saints are 0-3. They're in a rebuild. They're thinking about Arch Manning and the future. Granderson is a hell of an edge rusher. But yeah, they're going to probably have to make a trade. Looking around. I mean, they can promote Trevis Gibson and Robert Beal and try to make do internally. The free agent market is slim pickings. But maybe there's an 0-3 football team out there that's willing to trade you Jalen Phillips. I don't know. I mean, I'm all out of suggest. If anybody has, there are no bad suggestions. there are no bad suggestions. I'm looking at the Jets. They have Will McDonald the 4th, Braden McGregor, the rookie from Michigan, or I guess maybe he was a pick last year from Michigan. Maybe he's a second-year guy. They have Jermaine Johnson, who's hurt. They have Michael Clemens. I bring up the Jets. Just seems like every time there's been an opening of any kind this summer, the Jets, if the Niners are looking for an extra body, it seems like they're always calling the Jets. But yeah, I mean, it's just what an absolute nightmare situation for the 49ers. Just an absolute nightmare. Tennessee runs a 3-4. So what do they? They have Arden Key. Maybe you could trade for Arden Key. Draymond Jones. Wow. It's just brutal. Just brutal. Ali Gay, the former LSU edge rusher, is on the Tennessee practice squad. He's not bad. Not a bad option. Man, it's just immediately you go into what are the options out there. I mean, Houston's got Derek Barnett backing up Will Anderson. They also have Darrell Taylor backing up Danielle Hunter. So maybe Houston. I don't know why. Houston's obviously looking to salvage their own season. It's awfully early. Almost nobody really gives up this early in the year. It's just even if you're 0-3, I mean, you can make some trade and kiss off the year. It just seems really highly unlikely. But maybe the Saints. Saints are a team that would very much like to get a quarterback, you would think. They have Chase Young, they have Cam Jordan, they have Fadil Diggs, they have Carl Granderson. All those guys potentially could help. So, what a bummer. Absolute bummer for the 49ers. And I hate to say it, Roscoe Cruz in here says the Bosa brothers' legacy is injury. Yeah. These guys get injured a lot. They really do. Second time Bosa's torn his ACL in his NFL career. First tore it in week 2 of the 2020 season against the Jets. And now again in week 3 of 2025 against the Cardinals. It's the right knee. Last time it was the left knee. So it's not the same. It's a different ACL. So second ACL. He tore the left one. Now it's the right one. Or I guess it was the right one. This is the right one. Last time it was the left one. Oh, man. What a terrible break for the 49ers. Just a terrible break. I mean, they had an unbelievable rush line with Bosa and Huff. Kyle McKiernan says Trey Hendrickson. I mean, it would just blow your cap out of the water. Yeah, I mean, Trey Hendrickson would be amazing. Hendrickson would be great, but I don't know that he's available anymore. Larry is gutted. Oh, I am. I mean, this is just such a deadly blow to the 49ers. I mean, there's very few guys that are just like, oh my God, it changes the whole trajectory of the season. Though that list would be Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams, Nick Bosa. I wouldn't even throw Fred in there just because you have some other really good linebackers. I mean, Nick Martin's been inactive the last couple of weeks. Woodpit's asking the question, did Hendrickson sign a contract extension? I thought he did. Didn't he? Didn't he get a contract extension? God, what a terrible. Yeah, we got this one. Did Hendrickson sign a new deal? I don't know. We'd have to look that up. I thought he got a new deal. Yeah. Kev says yes. Hendrickson did get a new deal. Ugh, just unbelievable. Just an absolute kick to the gut. Your best defensive lineman in the prime of his career, your impact guy, done for the year. Oh my God. Carl Granderson would probably be the first name I would think of, just because he's in New Orleans. They're going nowhere. They're playing for not much. And he's just a real scary edge rusher. I mean, he's in his prime, playing at a very, very high level. I mean, there's a handful of options out there. There's nothing on the market. Nothing. There ain't nobody out there that I could see, unless, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at the list. I don't see anybody. Carl Lawson, former Auburn Tiger. Unbelievable. I mean, that is just a crusher. God, unbelievable. So, welcome to your Monday, 49er fans. You're 3-0, but man, it doesn't feel good. This feels terrible. I'm popping on 9 minutes from now on KMBR with the Gregs, so we'll talk about it over there. Grant Cohn and I are supposed to do a live stream later this afternoon on my channel, I believe. And then Dieter and I go tonight at 9, and we'll talk more about this. And at that point, I'll probably have a full list of viable practice squad guys, because I will go through that list as soon as we're finished here. But man, what a blow! God, Digital Drew. I need a hug. Yeah, I need a hug as well. Unbelievable. Mill. Time to move on from Bosa. Well, it's easy to say. Wow. Unfreaking believable. All right, let's do this. Let me read some of these supers, because we do have 5 supers out of the chute here. God dang. Really pisses me off. There's nobody to blame, of course. It's just bad luck. But gosh. Ernberg, Welp. That's the season, boys. Oh, I don't know about that. Definitely doesn't help. Joseph Ernberg, do we pack it in or go for a high draft spot? No. You don't pack it in week 3 because you lose one defensive end. Mark Meza, he tore the right ACL in high school. Okay. So this is the second tearing of the right. Is that what it is? Blood Moon. TH, who's this? Trey Hendrickson has a 1-year extension. Move Mac when healthy. What are you saying? Trade Mac to the Bengals for Trey Hendrickson? Is that what you're saying? Oh, gosh. I mean, these are just awful decisions. Silent says, with how the Rooks progress, we'll be okay eventually. I don't know, man. That is a loss. Oh, gosh. I mean, just think of everything about the one guy that you had on your front that commands double teams consistently. You don't have that guy. You no longer have the guy who commands doubles. Jordan Matthews, Seabass. I'm telling you. What do you think? Put Seabass at defensive end. He's got a lot of speed. I mean, he's not Nick Bosa, but he'll play hard. I'll say this: I saw Seabass doing some pass rush drills last week, and it's funny you say this, Jordan, because that was my thought. It's like this guy moves so freaking well. Maybe they ought to put him up on game day and use him as an interior rusher. But now with Bosa going out, maybe Seabass would be on the short list. I mean, the motor's off the charts. You're talking about a big, strong guy. You're talking about a 300-pound guy who can really move. I'd try it. I think Jordan Matthews might be onto something there. I kind of like that idea. Seabass. Propa says Hendrickson makes $30 million this year, then as a free agent. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like it would fit. Doesn't seem like it would fit. T made her do it. T _ made her do it. Just dropping a deuce there. Thank you, T. The recovery 716. I'm sad, Larry, with a heart. Oh man. I mean, it's life as a Niner fan. It's just like, whoa, kick to the gut. Every single time they play a game, they lose somebody of significance. Just an absolute crusher. All right. 4 minutes from now, I'll be popping on the radio with Greg Papa and Greg Silver, and we'll talk about this devastating blow and what the Niners do from here. Grant and I are going live together later today at some point. We may move that up because of this news. Damn it. I mean, this is really a bad one, man. This is a season altering kind of a move. But the Niners have so many things going right that I think they gotta make a deal and spend a little bit of money, spend a little bit of draft capital, and get a good replacement in here. And let's see if they can do it with their replacement. The Super Bowl's at Levi's. It's a winnable year. They're 3-0. You don't tank. That's for damn sure. You don't tank. But can you make a deal? Can you make a deal and get the kind of player that you need to get to go where you need to go? It's going to be a challenge. There's guys out there, but it's going to, you think you're going to get a deal right now? You're going to pay through the nose. But I think you got to do it. I don't think you can just say, Travis Gibson, Robert Beal, let's go. I mean, you might be able to do that for a week. I don't know what Jacksonville's deal is as far as their view of the world. It's year one of the Liam Cohen regime, but I would try to get Trayvon Walker. I mean, he would be a fantastic ad. All right, that's going to do it. Join me on the radio right now. I'll be on KNBR with Greg and Greg coming up here in 2 minutes. Until then, damn it.